Hey everyone, I'm Arenimal, and welcome back to another. What? Oh, we're not doing Resident Evil today. Oh no. Dark Souls. It's probably one of my favorite games of all time. I've played it a bunch, beat it quite a few times, and I decided, I should probably play this on my channel at least once. And for those who don't know, Dark Souls is heavily inspired by the manga Berserk, which is, coincidentally, not at all one of my favorite mangas, if not my favorite manga. It was also the first one I read, which wasn't that good of an idea considering it's Berserk. Not because it's dark, but because it's really heavy in terms of text. um, but I'm not gonna get too in depth with it. This is a bit of a big playthrough since it's gonna be a whole video from the game's start to the game's finish. But I'm playing as Guts from Berserk. I installed a few mods to change a few weapons, a few armor sets, and yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna be explaining everything that I'm doing and voicing over. It's gonna be a bit of a different video from usual, but we'll see how this goes. So first of all, obviously, I had to create my character. I had to create John Berserk. I ended up I didn't really plan this build very well before doing it, so I was a bit indecisive on what class I would start with, since the weapon I'm going to use by the end requires all 4 attacking stats to be around 20. I ended up picking the Deprived, since its stats are pretty balanced with all at 11, and it was surprisingly easy to play with it, to be honest. It's actually not that bad of a class, especially if you can dodge. The rest in character creation is pretty non-important. It's just the usual master key, and then you can already see one of the mods I installed, which is to change one of the hairs to look like Guts' hair, and then I just started my journey. Look at Guts, all shriveled up and dried, like a sack of balls. The beginning is pretty normal, especially for a deprived class. There's really not much to it, so I'm not gonna bore you with the details. I just went through the dungeon as normal, then got my weapons and slayed the asylum demon actually pretty easily, which is when I realized it, like, the deprived class is actually really good. Besides starting with no armor, it doesn't actually do that bad compared to other classes. Maybe even a little bit better than others. Wow, that was the easiest fight I've had. I finally reached Firelink Shrine, but before properly starting my journey through Lordran, I needed to get a few items, the usual, the souls that are laying around near Firelink Shrine, and because neither of the weapons that I need for the build are actually obtainable this early in the game, I ended up just going with the Zweihander for the time being until I got the greatsword. Which, even without the mods, the greatsword by itself already looks like Guts' Golden Age sword, but I decided to install a mod since I installed everything else. Why leave the greatsword looking as is? So, yeah, I guess a little bit of a spoiler. The regular greatsword is the one I changed to look like Guts' Golden Age sword. And I decided, instead of like making a whole like rush to get the best armor and stuff, I decided to make this a little bit of a progression, kind of like in the show, well, the manga. So I'm gonna progress through Guts' stages, although not perfectly, and you're gonna see why. So at first I'm gonna start off with his Golden Age gear, then the Black Knight gear, and finally his Berserker armor gear, which is gonna be just at the very end of the build because the Berserker armor is the strongest one here. It's the strongest armor in the game, so I don't want it to be too OP, even though you can get it pretty early if you rush through the game. Alright, there you go. After equipping my weapon, I then went through the area pretty much as normal. Killed just a few enemies, got the wrong kind of crossbow, and then I went to check on the merchant and realized that he has nothing useful to me, like at all. Then I picked up a few fire bombs for later and crit chained the fuck out of this Black Knight. These guys are just way too easy when you learn to crit chain. And then obviously when I'm doing a specific kind of run, he drops his cool drop. I then proceed to do some really cool tactics and get hit anyway. Then I go to fight the Taurus demon, but not before killing the little archer skeleton motherfuckers that are up here. Brother, you're a bit late on that, but okay. Then it was on for the actual boss, the Taurus demon, which, did you know you can plunge attack him like the Asylum demon? Well, don't do it like I did. Also, speaking of the Taurus demon, he kinda looks like Nosferatu Zod from Berserk. Easy. Get dunked on, lose. After killing the Taurus demon, I went to meet with Best Buddy Solaire. Buddy. I also opened up the shortcut for this bonfire and leveled up a bit of dex. Ran past the huge dragon on the bridge because he's an asshole and he's trying to burn us all up. Then, as usual, I just rested at the bonfire so I wouldn't have to deal with the dragon again and open up this gate. Bye, dragon. Took a few tries, but I also killed this Black Knight while I was at it, and watched this holo get absolutely annihilated by the fucking gate. Then, after so many troubles, we hear the tink 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 of the safety of Blacksmith Godot. I also took the liberty of upgrading my Zweihander since I was going to be using it for a little longer. Then I killed this guy who sadly didn't drop the greatsword I wanted. I also picked up this Firekeeper's Soul, which reminded me that I hadn't upgraded my Estus Flask yet. So I went down to Firelink Shrine and upgraded my Estus Flask to +2. And so, the grind for my armor set had begun. Oh, also I killed Laurentius, because he's an asshole. Yeah, there's one. Also, while I was grinding, for some reason, this guy kept dropping Titanite shards. Such a genuine reaction. I even spoke Portuguese for a second. This guy's dropped a Titanite shard every time. That's insane. Oh, 2! Crazy. One of them I already had. That's a third one already. Yes, just one more. He almost... Are you kidding? It took me almost 40 minutes to get the full armor set. But now, here he is. Guts. Hey, please don't judge. But now it was time to do the gargoyles, and I have to be honest, with the Zweihander at +5, because I got so many Titanite shards from the fucking guy, these gargoyles are just a joke. Really like a pushover. Just wasting my time, to be honest. That's underwhelming. Oh, and the halberd. Obviously, after killing the gargoyles, I went and rang the first bell of awakening. After that, I decided to go back and just kill Havel to get his ring so I could wear my whole armor set and not heavy rolled. Then it was time to go back down, but this time into Blighttown, where I first tried to, kill these guys because they're usually pretty easy. Somehow they just killed me. Thanks, Obama. Then I also killed this naked lady with a knife who started running at me and yelling obscenities. Before going to the boss though, I decided to just go around and loot a little bit because I wanted those large Titanite shards. And now it was time for one of the hottest bosses in the entire game. Ignore me salivating in the background. This is probably one of the hottest bosses because it spits lava everywhere and just has a fire sword as well. It's really, really cool. That fire sword is actually really awesome to use. Big lady. Yeah. I did die to her once, but let's just ignore that. Easy. Needless to say, I rang the second bell of awakening. Then I talked to Frampt, which is this weird snake that shows up and asks if you rang his bells or something. After talking to him, I picked up the Elite Knight set for later, and also killed this huge butterfly. Now it was on to Sen's Fortress, where I just did the usual, killing the serpents from Berserk and Lego Ninjago, avoided some traps, accidentally get hit by traps, get invaded because I stupidly forgot to log out, but when I joined the game, I forgot to turn off. Thanks, Obama. Sent the boulder flying into God knows where. Sent this snake flying to God knows where. Picked up a useless ring. Yeah, this was not worth. And finally, got what I came here for. Our precious greatsword. I also realized he sold both Titanite and large Titanite shards, so I went ahead and bought enough of them so I could go down with the cage key I just picked up and upgrade my greatsword all the way up to +5. And now I look like John Berserk. Before moving on though, I decided to test the weapon out on the fucking bald knights that tortured me for like 40 minutes. Moving on though, I went down to kill a few dogs and, well, might as well kill the Capra demon, which honestly he kinda looks like this goat demon guy from Berserk, but it's a bit unclear. Goats are very associated with demons anyway, so it might not be a reference. But well, here it is anyway. Hell yeah. Then I went down to the depths and collected my prize, a large ember to get my greatsword all the way up to plus 10. Great. Don't worry, buddy. I won't. Then I went all the way back to Sen's fortress and killed this giant before going on and killing the golem. And to be honest, this was one of the best fights I've had with this golem in a long time. Haven't done this in a while. They kind of look like the Lickers from Resident Evil. Still such an awesome cutscene. After reaching Anor Londo, I rest at the main bonfire and find that I got an upgrade. A new armor set. Okay guys, I'm gonna be honest. I know that he doesn't use this sword anymore when he gets that armor set, but the Dragon Slayer is over a DLC weapon, so I'm not gonna do that. I then decided to immediately just, do the speedrun tactic to open up the fake statue so I could kill Gwendolyn, and just watch me absolutely wreck Gwendolyn's ass. Not like that.
Swathed in dark, an eternal curse upon thee.
After killing Gwendolyn, it's just progression as usual, killing a few demons with absolutely flawless performance. Narrowly dodge the Silver Knight's arrow and kill him for narrowly hitting us, lighting this bonfire and collecting this armor set for later. Then I kill this Titanite demon before moving on to the main course of this whole area, Ornstein and Sumo. Some people say that Ornstein and Sumo are a reference to these two guys from Berserk, and I do see it, but it's also just a common duo design in a video game to have a small and quick guy and a big and tanky guy. But I don't know. You guys tell me, do you think it's just a design choice or is it an actual reference? Easy. Oh. There you go. And of course, who would forget about the best part about this whole area? Great chest ahead. Thank you, Guinevere. This music doesn't begin doesn't begin to describe what I feel every time I get to this point in the game. After that, though, I talked to a friend and he just swallowed me whole. No gag reflex or anything. It's just crazy. He spat me out right after, though, so was it really worth it? But then I remembered what I was supposed to do. Place the Lord Vessel where it belongs. After which I obviously laid on a nest and pretended I was an egg. An egg. After which the bird somehow mistook me for an egg and took me back to where it all started. To Undead Asylum. I came here for a reason though, and that reason was to kill this guy again, who for some reason there's another one here. Up the dick. But most importantly, I needed to kill this Black Knight because he was protecting something very dear to me. Oh, easy. My childhood doll, which I needed to do this. Now that I'm in the painted world of Ariamis, I simply need to kill this dragon by beheading him, hitting his lower half so it stood up for itself, jumping down to the lower level of this bridge, and going through the fog gate so I could talk to this lady and hit her after she went invisible like every other woman in my life, then busting her ass like every other woman in my life, and then killing her like every other woman in my life. Also, I apologize for what you're about to hear. What I seek, what I seek, what I seek is Griffith! I'm sorry, that was really cringe. Holy fuck. Even Guts thought it was best to kill himself after that. Kill this firekeeper after I murdered Gwendolyn. She for some reason attacks me because of that and I forgot that that happened. I honestly forgot she came after me when I killed Gwendolyn. Then it was time to go to the DLC to get the weapon I so desire, which meant I had to go back down into the waterfall near where Havel was to kill this big ass Hydra. Instead, after killing the Hydra, I needed to go back to the secret area where this golden golem appears, even though you need to restart the game, and I definitely didn't forget it. 420, plays it. A lady? After killing the golden golem, I needed to kill this blue golem up in Duke's archives to get this weird pendant that for some reason makes this huge butthole appear in the middle of this area where the golden golem was. And Guts is dead. Oh, never mind, there he is. He's just fighting this chimera thing. Don't worry, he's got this. Told you so. Fucking hell. Then I talked to this weird old mushroom lady, and she said some stuff I didn't really understand, so I just went and rushed to get my praised sword. Not before getting scared by this other dragon and unlocking this shortcut though. Oh hey look, it's the guy from Bloodborne. But anyway, time for the big guy, Artorias. The one that's gonna give me my weapon, and also one of the best fights I had in this entire run. Not because I did good, but because it was cool as shit, and it ended really funny. And as we watch Artorias get consumed by the abyss, I'm gonna tell you, I died a lot to him, so I was pretty angry at this point. But I'm gonna show you the whole fight, and you'll see my reaction as genuine as possible, because the ending of this fight was awesome and hilarious. Ah! God, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? I wish I could. Oh my god. Jesus. I'm gonna have to check on editing how long that took. It took me like 35 minutes. Not that bad, but still. Then it was time to actually get our weapon, and for that I needed to talk to this giant blacksmith, who is just such a cool guy. And I talked to him and transformed my greatsword into the Dragon Slayer greatsword, and I also upgraded it to +3. I then just tested it out to see how it works, and see, this is why I wanted Artorias' greatsword. But what better way to test out the Dragon Slayer greatsword than by slaying an actual dragon? So here we go, on to the gaping dragon. The pussy dragon. Or that, sure. At this point in the game it's actually just a pretty easy fight. 2 hits and I cut off his tail, and then it just a few hits here and there, and he's dead. Except I almost died, but let's not talk about that. But then, after killing the gaping dragon, I decided that I did not want to go through the whole prison thing, so I just did the speedrun tactic to skip all of that and go straight to the later part of the Duke's archives. After that, I was also able to obtain the last piece that I was missing from Guts' equipment, his trusty crossbow. Now take a good look at Guts, because I am not gonna use the Javelin. I'm sorry, I don't like crossbows. Then we just traverse some invisible paths and expertly dodge these clams, and on to the fight with Seath, yet another dragon, except this one looks a little bit different. And then it's just business as usual. Make Seath destroy his own immortality crystal, hit him a few times, die to curse because you're an idiot, go all the way around to the merchant to buy the item, realize you don't have enough souls, realize even after consuming all of your souls you don't have enough, so go all the way back to Framt to sell Priscilla's dagger because you're not going to use it, after which you buy the curse relieving item and use it, go all the way back to Seath again, and now make him destroy his immortality crystal again, fail miserably at cutting off his tail, and then just keep wailing on his tummy because that's his weak point. After killing Seath, I decided to get the worst out of the way and go to Izalith. But let me tell you, when I say it's the worst, I mean it. Izalith was probably the worst part of this run. It felt horrible to play through. And it's sad because it could have been such a cool zone. But anyways, it is a mandatory zone, so first things first, go down, go through the fog gate, look at this guy's stupid ugly face and make fun of him for it, take his dead sister's clothes, wait for him to do this stupid attack, get to the end of the arena and wait for him to come over to you because you're the boss. Then just let him jump and get stuck like a fucking idiot. Then he just falls off because he's stupid and an idiot and ceaseless discharge deserves to die. I don't know, I have so much hate for ceaseless discharge. I honestly don't. He's just an idiot. After this though, I get thrown off the fucking hill, which made the guys that ganked me sad, so they killed themselves in the process. Then I somehow won a 3v1 against the Taurus demons. I must be some sort of god or something. How did I do that? Then I just killed the other two with no real issue, which is something I really like about this game. It sends you against normal enemies that are exactly like the bosses you've already killed. It gives you a bigger sense of becoming powerful besides just like the normal progression of the game. But anyways, I saw how many Capra demons I had to fight and said, fuck that. So I just jumped off, killed this tick worm thing, and got this bonfire lit. Then it was off to this demon again. Third time's the charm, they say. Anyway, it was really easy. I'm not gonna bore you with this fight again. So, yeah, just business as usual. Just hit him a few times. And he's dead. Then I unlocked a shortcut back up to the Chaos Daughter before going into the Centipede Demon fight, which is a pretty fodder fight, but I wanted to kill all the bosses. Then I got a friendly reminder that I was on a call with a friend who had been AFK until now.
Vivendo
Ai
uma
caralho,
big
filha
mess.
da puta. Sss.
Alô! Konnichiwa!
Ai pra caralho.
Yeah, dumbass.
Whoa,
You
360.
promise.
Then, as the older and taller and cooler of the two, I had to give her some financial advice.
Quero comprar uma skin no Valorant, mas
Não,
eu
não
tenho medo de
faças
ver o
isso.
preço.
Não faças isso.
Eu quero muito. Tipo, a
Don't.
minha primeira skin, you know?
I know, but don't.
Why not?
Curto bem desse Pokémon. Ele evolui para o...
Itchy.
Ele evolui para o Boba Fett. After which I lit the secret bonfire and died to this Titanite demon way too many times before just giving up on it and just picking up the demon Titanites I could get from this chest and these two Titanite demons. And the reason I was so desperate for Demon Titanite was obviously to max out my Abyss Greatsword, my Dragon Slayer Greatsword. And what better way to test out the Dragon Slayer Greatsword at max potential than Bed of Chaos? And now, dear viewer, I ask you that you understand. If you play this game, learn to do the cheese right. Because the Bed of Chaos made me stop playing for the rest of the day. I wanted to finish the whole game in one day, but I couldn't. It was being too annoying because I failed the cheese. And I am not joking when I say this boss is the most horrid horse shit I have ever played. I just kept dying over and over and over until I just was distraught.
Que esta merda. Não consigo fazer nada.
And then it all came to this.
Foda-se, filha da puta. Vai para o caralho, mano.
I am not happy with what happened. It wasn't just the game, but the game got to me, so I had to leave for day one. The next day, though, I came back, and after dying a few more times, this happened.
Shit. Actually got it.
And then I was knocked off and I died again. But then I came back and I was able to finally kill the Bed of Chaos. I cannot express the amount of happiness I felt when I saw that bar go to 0. I'll just let my reaction speak for itself.
I got it! Yay!
After killing the Bed of Chaos, I went and bought the Crest of Artorias, but decided to go for Nito first, which reminded me... Oh fuck, I just remembered. Oh, I'm gonna have to do pinwheel, aren't I? Ah, Jesus fucking Christ. All I'm gonna say is, pinwheel is so annoying. I didn't even want to bother doing this dungeon, and I just did another speedrun tactic to jump straight down into his arena. And I have to say, pinwheel is really cool, but very, very hard. Okay, fucking let's pray for the best. It's pinwheel. He's honestly really cool. Like this whole thing, this necromancy thing. I love necromancers, but pinwheel is just too annoying. Thankfully, though, I was able to kill him quickly before he became a nuisance and a threat to my mental sanity. Oh, Mask of the Father, that's cool. Thank God, that was really lucky. Jesus. Honestly, it was. I was about to die. And then, with my trusty sunlight maggot I got earlier, I placed it on my head, used it as a torch. As I lit the bonfire in the Tomb of Giants, killed this bald bitch, and went down into this second bonfire and killed Leroy the Invader. This guy was not nearly as strong as Leroy Jenkins. Then expertly avoid Nito's skeletal army. And now it was time to fight Nito, the Lord of the Dead. He's honestly pretty easy. Once again, fighting this guy is just routine. Kill his skeletons, get hit by his attacks, hit him a bit, then block his explosion, and rinse and repeat until you've got some semblance of an actually good boss fight experience. And this, dear viewer, was a good boss fight experience. There you go. First try! Every time you first try a boss, it's a good time. But now it was about to be a bad time. And not like Sans. But first, I'd like you to look at this little thing and see if it reminds you of anything. That's right. For those who don't know, Sif's arena and Artorias' grave take place in Ulasil town, which is the place where the DLC takes place as well, except the DLC is in the past. That hand literally time travels and takes you back in time. And now we go on to one of the saddest boss fights in this game, in my opinion. It may look like just a normal boss fight against a big dog, but then you get it to low health and just watch. Sif, she's just limping now. Oh, I've never seen that. She falls over. Oh no. Why are you doing this to me, Dark Souls? Don't look, everybody. Don't look. Close your eyes. I think we can all be happier if we don't see what happened there. Anyways, now that I have the Covenant of Artorias, I get to go around in New Londo, kill a few ghosts, get the key to the seal so that I can push this lever, and open the gates so that the water can run and the city can not be flooded anymore. And then before going for the Four Kings, I decided to kindle the Firelink Shrine bonfire to 20 because why wouldn't I? To be honest, I think if they remade Dark Souls, they should make the Covenant of Artorias a key item. They should make it like still the ring and stuff, but like I don't think they should like give us more ring slots. Obviously, like yes, that would be cool, but I also don't think they should keep like if your build requires the two rings, you're just gonna fight the Four Kings with an incomplete build, which is basically what's going on here. My build gets damaged because I don't have all the rings. They should make it a key item, and if you don't have the key item, then you just can't fight these guys. That arm, is that hair? Or is that like dirty? You need to shower or shave? Which one is it? Guts? Probably both, actually. Both in this game and in the actual story. Well, no, he's always in that armor, isn't he? They always make it a big deal when he takes the armor off, because it's like each time he takes the Berserker armor off, there's more scars, which, I mean, obviously, with what the armor does, the armor does, yeah, you were trying to speak, you fucking idiot, weren't you? Ha! Oh my god, it's the gear spurs. With what the armor does to his body, it's no wonder he gets more and more scars each time. Am I gonna? Okay. I thought I was about to die. Good. Dodged. And done. No! Done! And now, with the Four Kings out of the way too, there is only one thing left. Wake up! One of us speaks in riddles, the other one speaks in rhymes. Yes. Where's the other one, though? I know where the other one is. He's down there. But for some reason, he didn't show up. I forget what the trigger for it is. We've seen this. And now, as we enter the final arc of this journey, we get our final build, the Berserker armor set. Oh shit, there's still a DLC. Yep, this armor is really good. I mean, it's Havel's armor, so it's like obviously gonna be good. It's the best armor in the game. Yes!
Very good.
Very good. What idiots. Yeah, I know, right? Don't point at me. I see you pointing at me. He's making fun of me. I'm gonna show him. No one makes fun of me. John Berserk. Laughing at me like some sort of monkey. I'm gonna. Where? Here. Laugh at me now, pussy! Oh, I hit the chest too by accident. I mean, I needed to kill it anyway, because I need the key. Then I simply unlocked this bonfire, and it was on to Manus, which is one of the coolest boss fights in this entire game. Honestly, one of my favorites. So I'll leave you with this beautiful fight. Good. Finish him off. Boom! Easy. And now that I defeated Manus and used the Berserker armor for the first time, it looks as though my hair has changed for some reason. Eh, I'm just gonna not explain that for over 100 chapters. Anyways, I used the quest key I found earlier to go talk to this big giant called Goff. Hello, Goff. Then, after talking to Goff, he inspired me to go and fight this big dragon that showed up earlier. And so I prepared for battle. And I realized I might need a little help. after Goff weakened the dragon, I was then able to actually, fight him, which I died like 2 or 3 times, but it was honestly not that bad. And I think it was a good showing for the last dragon the Dragon Slayer is gonna slay in this video. That's okay. Fuck. That was way too close. Jesus. And now, after having killed every other boss in this game, there is really only one thing left to do. And as the doors to the final battle open, I thank you for coming with me on this long journey, and I hope you enjoy Guts versus Lord Gwyn. That's Gwyn. Dead. GG's. Easy game. Easy run. Honestly, really fun. Artorias' greatsword is really fun. Not the best, you know. It's pretty. It's a good weapon. It's just not OP like the Zweihander or something. And now we finish the game with the Lord of Darkness ending, which neither ending really fits Guts. Guts isn't a Lord type person, nor do I think he would sacrifice himself for the whole world. Especially if he somehow realized about the whole cycle thing and that linking the flame is pointless because it's just gonna disappear anyway. But whatever. We beat the game, and as Guts takes his last march in this adventure, I thank you for watching this video and for staying all the way through in this awesome game that is Dark Souls Remastered.